In a quiet Uzbek town, nestled between rolling hills and fields of wildflowers, 15-year-old Sevинч lived a life shaped by gentle rhythms and simple joys. Each morning, as the first rays of sunlight crept over the rooftops, she would awaken to the soft sounds of her village coming to life. In her heart, Sevинч dreamed of a love as gentle as the spring breeze, one that would sweep through her days with warmth and kindness, filling her world with hope. She often watched her mother weaving carpets, her hands moving with practiced grace, creating patterns that told stories of generations past. To Sevинч, these carpets were more than just beautiful. They were symbols of truth and tradition, each thread woven with care and honesty. She longed for a love as true and enduring as the patterns on her mother's carpets, something that would stand the test of time. Sevинч found beauty in the smallest things. The way sunlight danced on the leaves of the old mulberry tree in their courtyard, the hush that settled over the village as evening approached, and the comforting embrace of her family's home. These moments, though ordinary, filled her with a quiet happiness and a sense of belonging. Her days followed a familiar pattern, helping with chores in the morning, walking to school along dusty paths, and losing herself in books beneath the shade of a tree. Through stories, Sevинч traveled to distant lands and imagined lives far beyond her own, her imagination soaring on the wings of every tale she read. Yet, even as she explored these faraway worlds, her heart remained anchored in her own quiet longing. She didn't yearn for grand gestures or heroic adventures. Instead, she dreamed of a love that was honest and kind, a gentle companionship that would bring comfort and understanding, someone who would share in her hopes and listen to her dreams. Often, Sevинч would sit by her window, gazing out at the blooming apricot tree and the winding road beyond. She wondered if, somewhere out there, someone with a gentle smile and kind eyes was searching for her too. The thought filled her with both longing and hope, a secret wish she kept close to her heart. For Sevинч, love was not about grand declarations or dramatic moments. It was about understanding, belonging, and the quiet joy of being truly seen. She cherished this hope in silence, writing her thoughts in a worn journal and dreaming beneath the open sky, believing that one day her heart's wish would come true. As the sun rose over her village, painting the sky with promise, Sevинч stepped into a new day, unaware that her world was on the brink of change. Her dream, so carefully guarded, was closer than she could ever have imagined, waiting just beyond the horizon, ready to transform her life forever. One golden afternoon, Azamat arrived in town, quiet, thoughtful, and a few years older than Sevинч. Their first meeting was brief, a glance by the well that left Sevинch's heart fluttering. Azamat's kindness set him apart, helping neighbors, caring for strays, working hard to find his path. Their paths crossed often, at the market, on dusty roads, each encounter deepening their silent connection. One evening by the canal, Sevинч gathered her courage and spoke to him. Their conversation flowed easily, dreams and hopes shared under the setting sun. In that moment, Sevинч felt her dream of love begin to take shape, with Azamat. Their first talk was the seed of a secret love, nurtured by stolen moments and whispered words. They met under plane trees and walked cotton-field paths, discovering each other's dreams and worries. Azamat admired Sevинch's innocence. She cherished his patience and resolve. Their love was quiet, wildflowers in her hair, listening hearts, a refuge from the world. Yet they knew their bond was fragile, shadowed by youth and uncertain futures. Still, they chose to live in the moment, treasuring the love that had bloomed in secret. But the world outside would soon test the strength of their hearts. Whispers reached Sevинch's parents, carried on the wind like secrets too heavy to keep. The small community, always watchful, had noticed a change in their daughter, a brightness in her eyes, a spring in her step, and a gentle smile that lingered even when she thought no one was looking. They saw a new light in Sevинч, a hopefulness that hadn't been there before. It was as if she was carrying a secret joy, a happiness that made her seem older, wiser, and yet more vulnerable all at once. Her parents watched her closely, piecing together the puzzle of her changed demeanor, and soon they discovered its cause, Azamat. The realization brought a wave of concern and fear for their daughter's future. Her father, a man of gentle authority, spoke with a voice that trembled between love and worry. "You are too young for such things," he said, his words both a warning and a plea. "Love needs more than feelings. It needs stability, patience, and time. You must not rush into something your heart cannot yet understand." Her mother, her eyes shining with unshed tears, pleaded softly, "Focus on your studies, my dear. There will be time for love later, when you are ready and the world is kinder." Their words, though spoken with care, felt like chains around Sevinch's heart. They forbade her from seeing Azamat, hoping to shield her from the pain they feared was inevitable. They stood by her side, protective and unyielding, believing they were saving her from heartbreak, not realizing they were breaking her spirit instead. For Sevинч, their opposition was crushing. Her dreams dismissed as childish fantasies, her feelings brushed aside as if they were nothing more than fleeting whims. She felt her love for Azamat belittled, her hopes and desires treated as if they were too fragile to survive the real world. Her home, once a place of comfort, now felt like a cage. Every glance from her parents was a reminder of the boundaries she could not cross, every word a lock on the door to her happiness. She felt misunderstood, her devotion unseen, her world turned upside down. The love that had once filled her with joy and hope now became the source of her deepest sorrow. Each memory of Azamat stung like a fresh wound, and every day apart from him felt like an eternity. The laughter they had shared echoed in her mind, now tinged with sadness. Sevинч was torn between the duty she owed her family and the love that made her feel truly alive. She longed to make her parents understand, to show them that her feelings were real and deep. She stood at a crossroads, caught between two worlds, one of tradition and expectation, the other of passion and possibility. The walls around her heart grew higher with every argument, every tearful night. Yet despite everything, her feelings for Azamat did not fade. If anything, the distance made her love stronger, more determined. The conflict within her had only begun, and Sevинч knew that her journey was far from over. Azamat's family, too, worried about his future. They had always hoped he would follow a clear, stable path, one that would bring security and respect. But now, as they watched him fall in love, their concerns grew deeper. They wondered if he was losing sight of what truly mattered, if his heart was leading him astray from the practical realities of life. His father, a man shaped by years of hard work, saw love as a beautiful but risky distraction. "Love is fine, but you need a foundation. Work, savings, a home," he insisted, his voice firm but caring. He wanted Azamat to build a life that could weather any storm, to be prepared for the challenges that lay ahead. His mother, meanwhile, worried about the pain that love could bring. She had seen heartbreak before, and she feared her son might be next. She urged him to be patient, to think carefully before making promises. What if her family never agrees? "Focus on your goals," she pleaded, her eyes filled with concern. She wanted to protect him from disappointment, to shield him from the uncertainty that love often brings. Azamat listened, understanding their concerns. He felt the weight of their expectations pressing down on him, the hopes they had carried for years now resting on his shoulders. He knew they only wanted the best for him, but their doubts made his own uncertainty grow. Each conversation left him questioning his choices, wondering if he was being selfish or simply following his heart. The path ahead seemed more uncertain than ever, and he struggled to find the balance between his dreams and his family's wishes. He was caught between love and duty, frustration and hope. The pressure to make the right decision weighed heavily on him, and he often found himself lost in thought, searching for answers that never seemed to come. The approval he longed for from his family seemed out of reach, and the distance between them grew with every difficult conversation. He felt isolated, torn between two worlds that refused to meet. Both families saw only obstacles, not the quiet strength of Azamat and Sevinch's bond. Their love was real, but it was invisible to those who only saw the risks and the differences. Azamat's resolve was tested every day, but his feelings for Sevинч remained unshaken. He knew the journey would not be easy, but he was determined to hold on to hope, no matter how uncertain the future seemed. The road ahead was clouded with doubt, but Azamat took a deep breath and prepared to face whatever challenges lay before him, guided by love and the quiet strength within his heart. Separation brought a long winter to their hearts. Sevinch's days blurred with loneliness. Her room became a place of silent tears and longing. Memories of Azamat haunted her, the world now gray and empty. Azamat, too, buried himself in work, but nothing filled the void left by Sevinch's absence. Each night, he wondered if their families would ever accept their love. The pain was a test neither had expected, forging their resolve in quiet suffering. Their love endured, growing stronger in the shadows of sorrow. The hardest days taught them the true cost and value of devotion. In despair, patience became their anchor. Azamat wrote secret letters, urging Sevинч to hold on. Time will be our ally. I am working for our future. His hope gave her strength. She responded with quiet maturity, focusing on studies and family. Sevinch's patience was a silent defiance, her love a secret flame. Their bond, tested by hardship, deepened, no longer just sweet affection, but resilient and mature. They learned love is not just shared joy, but shared struggle and waiting. Patience became the unbreakable thread holding them together. Each day apart made their connection stronger. Their hearts waited, believing in a future together. Time softened hearts. Sevinch's parents saw her grow into a responsible, dignified young woman. Azamat's hard work and steady progress earned respect in the town and pride from his family. Both families saw that love had matured them, not distracted them. The turning point came when Sevinch's father saw hope, not just sadness, in her eyes. Realizing their daughter's happiness was tied to Azamat, her parents reconsidered. The families met. Azamat spoke of his intentions and commitment. Sevinch's father, seeing the truth of their bond, gave his blessing. Relief and joy filled the room. Their patience had been rewarded. The long winter ended. Spring had come at last. With their family's blessing, Sevинч and Азамат built a life together. Their wedding was simple. Their love deepened by every trial they'd faced. The hardships they endured made their bond unbreakable. Patience and trust became the foundation of their home. Their story became a quiet lesson in the town. True love demands sacrifice, courage, and time. Hardship, they learned, can strengthen and purify love. Sevинч and Azamat's journey reminds us, hope and patience can turn even the hardest path into a beautiful destination. In the end, two hearts found their home.